Hey guys, are you ready to retrain your thinking? Well, in today's video, we're going to go over 4 tips and tricks that I use to help me get going in the right direction, with more optimism and a growth mindset. And oh, by the way, if you stick around to the end, the 4th one I came up with myself. So we'll see you right after this. Hello healthy people, and welcome to healthierpointofview.com, where together we are developing into the healthier people that we want to be. And guys, if you are liking these videos, it would really help me out and would help the community out if you would hit the like and subscribe button as we continue to grow this channel. Okay, so let's get into today's video. So the last couple of weeks we've been talking about mindset recognition. So the first week we talked about our blueprint, right, and how we are off, how depression and anxiety and frustration comes from being away from our mindset's blueprint. The second week we talked about an overview of our life and looking at our life from 10,000 feet and seeing how we kind of got our mindsets. Well, today we're going to talk about how to train, or if you will, retrain the mind to get us thinking in a more positive and in a more growth aspect going forward. And we got 4 tips, and the 4 tips today, we're going to start with number 1 is mantras. So the first thing I would say to anyone is come up with your own personal mantra. Now, before you go, uh-oh, Keith's gone crazy. No, Keith's not gone crazy. Mantras are so important because it helps you to reflect. And here's what I mean. So what you'll do is you'll write down a statement, kind of like, oh, I don't know, I'm worth it, or I deserve better than this, or maybe a Bible verse like, greater is he that abides in me than he that abides in the world. I don't know. Whatever you want to use can become your mantra. Now the cool thing about mantras is they're not just set in stone. You can have one mantra one month and another mantra another month. It's all about dealing with reprogramming the conscious mind to sink into the subconscious mind. Now think about this with me for a moment. We hear so much negativity on a daily basis, and so mantras are kind of our way of combating all of the negative input. We use a mantra to say, I'm better than this. We could be in a situation and go, I'm better than this, or let's go, or I got this, or I don't know. I mean, and I don't want you to think that it's weird, because it's really not. It's almost like a marketing thing for you. It's like your branding. And like Nike, for instance, Nike has a mantra, right? Just do it. Or how about Coca-Cola? Have a Coke and a smile. So it's everywhere. It's not taboo to have your own mantra, to have some sort of success thought process, to start thinking in a more positive way. Remember way back when newspapers used to be delivered to your house? And I don't even know if newspapers even exist anymore with the way the internet is. But remember, your dad would get up in the morning, have his cup of coffee, read the paper. And what was in the paper? A bunch of bad news, right? Well, that's no way to start your day. A bunch of bad news and then you charge it up with a bunch of caffeine? We got to stop doing that. And so it's easy for us to process the negative. It's easy for us to see the negative. But when I come to you and I say, hey, let's start a mantra for ourselves, a positive thought process. Now here's the thing. Don't just think it. Write it down. Write down this mantra so that when you get up, and stick it on your bathroom mirror so that when you get up, you see it and you say it. Put it somewhere where you're seeing it and you're getting that affirmation. Because what we're trying to do is retrain the way that we're thinking. Now, I didn't want to get into all of the science behind this and how it all works, because quite honestly, I'm not a scientist. I'm just a guy that really believes that if we can do these simple techniques and tricks and tips, we can change the way we think. Now, there is some links down in the description below for a place called Sonima. I know I'm saying that wrong. It's sonima.com, and it talks all about mantras and how they work and how to use them. But basically all it is you're telling yourself an affirmation and you're allowing that to come into your mind and build on a good positive thought process. For instance, one of mine lately is I'm just going to keep digging, right? That mindset of just I'm going to keep digging. I'm going to keep digging my way through. I'm going to keep plowing through. That's one of my mantras right now. Or I'm better than this. That's another one of my mantras. Another one of mine was I'm always looking for the positive outcome. I'm always looking for the positive outcome. That's what I'm looking for, because so much of what we do is centered around the negative. So the first thing I want you to do is come up with a mantra, write it down, put it on your mirror, put it on your refrigerator, put it on your microwave, put it on your stove, wherever you can put it to remind yourself, and think of it throughout the day periodically. And that will be the beginning of us processing and retraining positive thought processes. Secondly, the second one we want to do is start practicing meditation. Now, again, this isn't some weird thing where, I'm going to meditate and I'm going to float and levitate off the ground. No, that's not what this is about. What this is about relaxing yourself, calming yourself down, and taking a breath, decompressing. There's a great app on the internet and on your phone, whether it's an iOS phone or if it's a Mac, a PC. It's an app that goes on your computers and on your phones, and it's called Headspace, and it's free. And those meditations are guided meditations. If you're not familiar with meditating, they'll walk you through processes. They'll get you through meditating. Some of them are 10 minutes long. Some of them are 30 minutes long, just depending on how much time you have. But it is a great app to have if you're not familiar with the processes of meditation. And it's also not some crazy thing. So, a lot of my Christian friends out there, listen, even the Bible says that we need to go to God in prayer and meditation. So let's take some of these practical applications and use them to better our minds and to relax ourselves and decompress. Now, here's the cool thing. You take the mantra and you lay it on top of your meditation. And now you're doubling the positive thought processes in the brain. And then third, no more negative self-speak. No more negative self-talk. From now on, when you look at yourself in the mirror, you say something positive. You don't get up in the morning and go, oh gosh, I'm ugly and fat. Or I need a haircut. Or I'm tired. When you're really probably not tired. Here's the thing. I want to tie this together, because this is the linchpin of all of it. And when you get this understanding, when you process this, you will see changes. I guarantee you will see changes, because when you understand where you're at on your blueprint in life, how you got where you are from in your mindset by looking at your life from 10,000 feet, and then you start to process the mind the way that we're doing this today, the way that we're talking about doing mantras and meditations, as well as no more negative self-speak. Listen, the brain is a computer. We're humans, right? And we developed computers. We developed computers to think like us. So whatever we put in is what's going to get stored. Now, when you look at yourself in a mirror and say to yourself, you're ugly, or you're fat, or you're broke, or you're unhealthy, guess what gets stored in your subconscious mind? You're ugly, you're fat, you're broke, you're unhealthy. So, the first thing, and this is why we touched on this very first, the beginning of Healthier Point of View, was we were going to talk about mindset. Because here's where you make the breakthroughs. Because the minute you start going to the gym with the wrong mindset, you're going to hit that first plateau. And guess what? You're going to ask yourself that question in the gym when you're looking in the mirror. Man, why can't I get through this? Why can't I build muscle? And your brain's going to answer you. And you know what it's going to tell you? It's going to tell you, well, you told me that we were fat and ugly, that we were broke, that we were lazy and unhealthy. That's what you told me. And that's the main key. I'm telling you, that is the key to all of this. The minute you start speaking positive things into yourself, when you look in the mirror, tell yourself your mantra, you're worth it. You deserve better than this. I'm going to look for the best in myself. Now, look, I'm not talking about being prideful and ugly, but I'm telling you, you were created with a gift. You have an ability, and if you're not there, it's because you've allowed something to take you away from it. And taking these things and putting them into practice, a good positive mantra, regular daily meditation, and then positive self-talk begins to wear on the conscious mind to where you're now feeding the database, the subconscious mind, with positive things. So that when you're in the gym or when you're on that diet or nutrition plan and you hit that first plateau, your mind then says, I'm better than this. I can do this. This is only the first step. But if you go into it with the wrong mindset and all of that negative self-talk, the first plateau you hit, you're going to fail. You're going to fail. And that's the whole point with healthier point of view. When we talk about nutrition, we're going to talk about it from a mindset. When we talk about working out and doing exercising, we're going to talk about it from a mindset. Because the minute, this wants to tell you what to do. But if you filled it with a bunch of negative, bad stuff, guess what you're going to get out of it? A bunch of negative, bad stuff. You won't win. But if you fill it full of good, positive things, guess what comes out of it? Now look, I'm not some, ooh, everything's cookies, Kool-Aid, and kumbaya. No. There's some crap that's going on in this world. There's crap in your life, and I understand that. There's some in mine. But focus on where the positive is. There is negative. I get that. I'm not being naive. I get that there's negativity. I get that. But if we can break through the negativity with a positive outlook, just keep digging. That's what I had to do. That's what we all have to do. Okay, first, write down a mantra. Get a positive slogan for yourself. Secondly, meditate. Allow your brain to relax, decompress, and just don't think about anything for a few minutes during the day or at night, whatever. And then third, no more negative self-speak. Talk to yourself like you matter and you mean something. You are better than this. Now, fourth, remember I said there was one that I came up with? So I came up with this. I call it the snooze button effect. And here's the deal. The brain works at its best right when you wake up. It's in that stage, but you know, when you're in REM sleep and you're awake and you're coming out of a deep rest and the alarm goes off, but your conscious and subconscious mind are still kind of, ooh, who's in control right now? When you hit the snooze button, because I know we all do at least 2 or 3 times a day, every morning, but the first time, and you got 7 minutes, and you're laying there with your eyes closed, start saying positive things and be grateful for what you have. You face a day with a positive attitude of gratitude. Be thankful for the things that you have and the abilities that you've been given. And your subconscious, because now here's the thing, here's the hack in all of this. Not me, but the hack in all of this is, get it, my last name? Okay, the hack in all of this is you're talking right to the subconscious mind because it's still asleep, the conscious mind. And when you directly talk to that mind, you will see quicker changes. They will come faster, and you will see better end results. Your days will somehow feel better. It's just what happens. So when you hit that snooze button, and you're laying there with your eyes closed for that extra 7 minutes, that is a perfect time to put that in your head. I'm telling you, put that in your head. Guys, I hope you appreciate this video. Now, I mentioned a lot of things, but I want to give you some help on that as well. And this is not affiliates or anything like that, but I'm just giving you some information out there. Number one, go to a website called sonema.com, and that will give you a lot of the background and understanding of what mantras can do for you. And secondly, there's another website for meditation and stuff like that, and that's EOC Institute. Now I'll put all this stuff down below in the description, next down there by the subscribe and like button, by the way. And all that'll be down there. And if I could recommend 2 books, there'll be 2 links to the books down there. There's a book called Growth Mindset. It's a real good entry-level book. It's by Brian Cagney. You can get it online. I read it. It's an easy read. It's a good read, but it'll get you some of the basic techniques and things you need to help really start to program your mind and have more of a growth mindset. And then there's more of a heavier book to read by Carol S. Dweck, I guess is how she pronounces her last name. It's called Mindset. And again, the links will be down in the description below. Guys, if you appreciate this video, remember, thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, and let your friends know. And until next week, have a healthier point of view.